The greatest battle of your life will never be fought in the outside world. It will not be fought against your competitors, your circumstances, your critics, or your past. It will be fought in the quiet corners of your own mind, where no audience applauds, where no one notices your victories, and where every decision silently shapes the person you are becoming. The quality of your life is determined long before the results appear. It is determined by what you allow your mind to believe when no one is watching. It is determined by whether you become the master of your thoughts or the servant of your impulses. Most people spend their lives trying to change their world without ever realizing that their world is only a reflection of the mind they carry within. They chase motivation as if it were a treasure hidden somewhere outside themselves. They wait for inspiration to arrive. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect feeling. But discipline does not wait. Discipline moves before confidence arrives. Discipline walks when motivation is asleep. Discipline continues when emotions surrender. The mind is like a wild river. Left alone, it flows wherever the terrain pulls it. It follows the easiest path. It avoids resistance. It seeks comfort. But a river without direction floods the land around it. In the same way, a mind without discipline destroys potential. It wastes energy on fear, doubt, distraction, comparison, and endless desire. Look carefully at your own thoughts. How many of them are truly yours? How many were inherited from people who lived according to their own fears? How many came from voices that taught limitation instead of possibility? Since childhood, countless opinions have entered your mind. Some became beliefs. Others became invisible walls. Without realizing it, many people spend decades obeying thoughts they never consciously chose. The first act of freedom is not changing your circumstances. It is becoming aware of your own mind. Awareness is power. The moment you observe your thoughts, instead of becoming trapped inside them, something extraordinary begins to happen. You discover that not every thought deserves your attention. Not every emotion deserves your obedience. Not every fear deserves your belief. Your thoughts knock on the door of your consciousness every day. Some arrive dressed as excuses. Some arrive wearing the mask of comfort. Others come disguised as logic. They whisper that tomorrow is better than today. They tell you that one more hour of distraction will not matter. They convince you that your dreams can wait. Day after day, these whispers become habits. Habit becomes character. Character becomes destiny. This is why the smallest decisions are never small. Every morning when the alarm rings, your future is quietly asking a question. Who will make today's decisions? The disciplined version of you or the comfortable version of you? Both live inside the same mind. One seeks growth. The other seeks ease. One understands that temporary discomfort creates lasting freedom. The other trades lasting freedom for temporary comfort. Life always rewards whichever one you feed. Many people imagine discipline as punishment. They think discipline steals freedom. They imagine rules, restrictions, sacrifice, and endless suffering. Yet the opposite is true. Discipline is the highest form of freedom. Without discipline, emotions become dictators. Without discipline, habits become prisons. Without discipline, desires become chains. A person who cannot control their own mind will eventually be controlled by circumstances. The storm outside becomes dangerous only when there is already a storm within. Consider the bamboo growing silently beneath the earth. For years, nothing remarkable appears above the surface. People walk past it believing nothing is happening. Yet, underneath the soil, roots spread patiently in every direction. Invisible strength is being built. The foundation is preparing for extraordinary growth. When the time finally comes, the bamboo rises with astonishing speed. The world celebrates the growth. Few appreciate the years of invisible preparation. Your discipline works the same way. Every quiet morning, every difficult workout, Every page you read instead of scrolling endlessly. Every promise you keep to yourself. Every moment you choose focus over distraction. These are roots. No applause, no celebration, no recognition, just silent construction of a stronger human being. One day, people will call you lucky. They will admire your success. They will wonder how everything changed so quickly. They will never see the years spent building beneath the surface. Silence has always been the workshop of greatness. The loudest people often accomplish the least because they spend their energy announcing what they intend to do instead of becoming who they need to become. Mountains do not announce their height. The ocean does not boast about its depth. The sun rises every morning without asking for attention. True power has no need to advertise itself. There is immense strength in becoming quiet. When your mind becomes quiet, your vision becomes clear. No eyes confuses. Silence reveals. Most people fear silence because in silence, they finally meet themselves. There are no distractions left to hide behind. No endless entertainment. No constant opinions. No external validation. Only you, your fears, your regrets, your desires, your unfinished promises. Many run away from this meeting for their entire lives. Yet everything changes the day you choose to sit peacefully with your own mind. Not to judge it, not to fight it, simply to observe. In observation comes understanding. In understanding comes mastery. Imagine holding a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, the water remains cloudy. But if you place it down and allow it to become still, the dirt slowly settles. Clarity was never created. It was simply uncovered. Your mind works exactly the same way. Constant stimulation keeps your inner world disturbed. Constant comparison keeps your confidence weak. Constant distraction keeps your purpose hidden. Stillness is not laziness. Stillness is preparation. The greatest decisions are rarely made in emotional chaos. They are born in peaceful awareness. Discipline begins long before action. It begins with attention. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Every company on earth competes for your attention because attention is life itself. If someone controls your attention, they slowly influence your future. Protect your attention like a sacred temple. Guard it against meaningless arguments. Guard it against endless negativity. Guard it against comparison. Guard it against the addiction of always needing more. Every moment your attention is stolen, a piece of your life disappears with it. Time cannot be recovered. Attention cannot be multiplied. Energy cannot be borrowed forever. Spend them wisely. One focused hour is often more powerful than 10 distracted ones. The mind was never designed to chase hundreds of directions simultaneously. A scattered mind creates scattered results. A focused mind transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Think of the ancient archer. Before releasing the arrow, nothing moves carelessly. The breath slows. The body becomes still. The eyes settle upon one target. The arrow reaches its destination long before it leaves the bow. Because the mind reached it first, success always follows concentrated attention. Your life becomes whatever you repeatedly practice. If you practice distraction, you become distracted. If you practice excuses, excuses become your identity. If you practice discipline, discipline eventually becomes effortless. This is the hidden secret that many overlook. Discipline is not something you force forever. At first, you shape your habits. Eventually, your habits shape you. The difficult becomes familiar. The familiar becomes natural. The natural becomes effortless. There comes a day when the disciplined person no longer fights themselves every morning. Their identity has changed, and identity is stronger than motivation. Never underestimate the power of keeping small promises to yourself. When you say you will wake up early and you do it, your mind learns trust. When you promise to finish your work and you keep that promise, your confidence deepens. When you say you will exercise despite not feeling like it, something invisible grows inside you. Self-respect. Not the kind that comes from compliments. Not the kind that depends on achievement. The quiet kind, the permanent kind. The kind that whispers, I trust myself. This trust becomes the foundation of unshakable confidence. Confidence is not built by success. Confidence is built by integrity with yourself. Each broken promise weakens your inner foundation. Each fulfilled promise strengthens it. Most people are searching for confidence while repeatedly proving to themselves that their own words cannot be trusted. Change that pattern. Become someone whose own mind believes them. There is no greater source of inner strength. Weakness rarely announces itself loudly. It enters quietly. One unnecessary excuse. One postponed responsibility. One abandoned commitment. One comfortable compromise. These moments appear harmless, but they accumulate. Just as a single drop of water seems insignificant until it carves through solid stone, repeated weakness shapes an entire life. Strength grows exactly the same way. One disciplined choice. One honest conversation. One uncomfortable action. One moment of courage. Repeated enough times, they transform your character from the inside out. The world sees the result. Only you know the countless invisible victories that made it possible. Every day offers two paths. The first promises immediate comfort, but slowly steals your future. The second demands present discipline, but quietly builds a future beyond imagination. Neither path announces where it leads in the beginning. That is why wisdom is required. The seed does not resemble the forest. The first disciplined morning does not resemble the extraordinary life it is preparing. The lonely hour of study does not resemble the mastery it will eventually produce. The difficult decision does not resemble the freedom waiting on the other side. The universe often hides the reward inside the process itself, asking only one question before revealing it. Can you continue even when you cannot yet see the harvest? That question separates those who merely dream from those who quietly transform themselves. Anyone can begin with enthusiasm. Anyone can feel inspired on the first day. But very few possess the patience to remain faithful to a path that offers no immediate reward. The mind craves evidence. It wants proof that every effort is working. It wants results before commitment. Yet life follows a different law. First comes the planting, then comes the waiting. Only after both comes the harvest. The impatient mind digs up its own seeds, searching for signs of growth, never realizing that constant doubt interrupts the very process it hopes to accelerate. There is a profound strength in allowing time to become your ally rather than your enemy. The tallest trees do not rush toward the sky. They deepen their roots before they reach for the light. Their greatness is hidden beneath the surface, long before it becomes visible above it. In the same way, your character is being formed in moments no one else can measure. Every disciplined decision is another root, extending deeper into the soil of your potential. The world celebrates visible success, but existence itself rewards invisible consistency. This is why your private life matters more than your public image. Who you become when no one is watching is who you truly are. There is no audience in the early morning when you choose discipline over comfort. There are no cameras recording the moments you resist temptation. There are no applause, no trophies, no recognition when you decide to remain calm instead of reacting with anger. Yet these unseen victories shape the architecture of your soul. Many people believe greatness is created in extraordinary moments. It is not. Greatness is accumulated in ordinary moments repeated with extraordinary awareness. A peaceful response instead of an emotional reaction. One more page read instead of one more hour wasted. One honest effort instead of one convenient excuse. One decision to continue instead of one decision to quit. The mountain is not climbed in a single leap. It is climbed one deliberate step at a time. Never underestimate the quiet power of one step. A single step appears insignificant until thousands of them reveal that you have crossed an entire continent. Your life changes in exactly the same way. Transformation rarely feels dramatic while it is happening. It feels repetitive, almost invisible. This is why so many abandon the process. They mistake repetition for lack of progress. But repetition is not your enemy. Repetition is the language through which mastery speaks. A musician touches the same notes thousands of times. A craftsman shapes countless pieces before perfection appears. A monk returns to the same breath again and again during meditation. Not because the breath changes, but because the one observing it slowly transforms. The practice may remain the same. The practitioner does not. Each return strengthens awareness. Each repetition sharpens intention. Each moment of discipline polishes another layer of the mind. Think of a stone resting beneath a flowing river. The water is soft. The stone is hard. Yet over time, softness reshapes hardness, not through violence, not through force, through persistence. Your daily disciplines are that flowing water. Your old habits are the stone. Do not underestimate gentle consistency. It possesses a strength that explosive effort never will. People often exhaust themselves trying to change everything overnight. They declare impossible standards. They attempt to become a different person before the sun sets. When they inevitably struggle, they conclude that discipline has failed them. Discipline did not fail. Impatience did. Growth is not measured by speed. Growth is measured by direction. Even the smallest movement toward wisdom is greater than standing still while waiting for perfection. Perfection is often another disguise worn by fear. The fear of beginning imperfectly, the fear of being judged, the fear of making mistakes. Yet every master was once inexperienced. Every wise person once misunderstood. Every disciplined individual once wrestled with the same distractions you face today. They simply refuse to let temporary weakness become permanent identity. Never confuse your current condition with your final destination. The mind loves labels. It says, I am lazy, I am weak, I am always distracted, I have no discipline. But these are not truths. They are descriptions of repeated behaviors. Behaviors can change. And when behavior changes consistently, identity quietly follows. You become what you repeatedly prove to yourself. This is why discipline is not about forcing yourself into a new life. It is about patiently introducing yourself to the person you were always capable of becoming. Within you already exists a calmer mind, a stronger heart, a clearer vision, a deeper courage. They are not absent. They are simply buried beneath years of unconscious habits. The sculptor never creates the statue. The statue already exists inside the stone. The sculptor only removes what does not belong. Your journey is similar. You are not adding strength. You are uncovering it. You are not manufacturing peace. You are removing the noise that hides it. You are not inventing wisdom. You are allowing it to emerge beneath endless distraction. This is why discipline often feels like letting go rather than acquiring more. Let go of unnecessary opinions. Let go of endless comparison. Let go of constant urgency. Let go of the need to prove yourself to everyone. The strongest people carry the lightest minds because they no longer waste energy on battles that do not deserve their attention. Energy is sacred. Treat it accordingly. Notice how easily your energy escapes. A single negative conversation can remain in your thoughts for hours. A careless comment can occupy your mind for days. One comparison can steal the joy from an entire week. Yet none of these deserve the authority you grant them. Your attention is the gatekeeper of your inner kingdom. Not every visitor should be welcomed inside. Some thoughts arrive only to weaken your resolve. Others come to feed your pride. Some tempt you toward anger. Others toward fear. Wisdom is knowing that you are not obligated to entertain every thought that appears. Clouds pass across the sky without changing the sky itself. Thoughts pass across awareness in the same way. You are not every thought you experience. You are the awareness capable of witnessing them all. This realization changes everything. Once you understand this, your emotions no longer become chains. You begin responding instead of reacting. A difficult situation still arrives. A disappointment still appears. Failure still visits your path, but something within remains untouched. Like the depths of the ocean remaining calm while waves dance upon the surface, your inner center becomes stable, even when life is unpredictable. This stability cannot be purchased. It cannot be inherited. It cannot be borrowed from another person. It is earned through countless moments of choosing consciousness over impulse. Every challenge then becomes a teacher instead of an enemy. When life delays your plans, it teaches patience. When life tests your resolve, it reveals your priorities. When life removes comfort, it introduces resilience. The obstacle is rarely preventing your growth. Often, it is creating it. Iron becomes stronger only after passing through fire. Gold becomes pure only after enduring intense heat. The human spirit follows a similar path. Comfort rarely reveals character. Pressure does. Do not resent every difficult season. Some seasons are not sent to break you. They are sent to uncover the strength that comfort kept hidden. The person you admire is not someone who avoided hardship. It is someone who learned how to remain steady within it. The greatest warriors first conquered themselves. The greatest leaders first learned to obey their own principles. The greatest teachers first became sincere students of their own minds. More mastery always comes before outer influence. If you cannot guide your own thoughts, how will you guide your future? If you cannot govern your own emotions, how will you remain steady when responsibility grows heavier? The world often teaches that power means controlling others. Real power begins with controlling yourself. To remain kind when anger feels easier. To remain disciplined when comfort invites surrender. To remain humble when success inflates the ego. To remain patient when everything inside demands immediate results. These victories cannot always be seen, but they can always be felt. There is a quiet dignity that develops in a disciplined soul. The need for constant validation slowly disappears. Comparison loses its attraction. Noise becomes exhausting instead of entertaining. Solitude transforms from loneliness into nourishment. You begin enjoying your own company because your mind is no longer your greatest source of conflict. Peace is not the absence of challenges. Peace is the absence of inner resistance to what must be faced. When your mind stops arguing with reality, enormous energy is released. That energy can finally be directed toward creation instead of complaint, toward purpose instead of worry, toward becoming instead of pretending. Then something remarkable begins to happen. Your goals no longer feel like distant dreams. They become natural expressions of who you are becoming each day. You no longer chase success with desperation. You attract it through the quiet authority of your habits. People notice a difference they cannot fully explain. It is not louder confidence. It is deeper presence. Not greater force, but greater clarity. Not endless activity, but intentional action. Because the disciplined mind does not rush through life searching for shortcuts. It understands that every meaningful destination asks for a meaningful journey, and every step taken with awareness leaves an imprint upon the soul that no external achievement alone could ever provide. One day, perhaps without even noticing when it happened, you will wake up and realize that the battles which once exhausted you no longer have the same power. The temptation to quit will still knock, but it will no longer enter uninvited. Fear may still whisper, but its voice will no longer guide your decisions. Doubt may still appear, but it will no longer define your identity. you will not have become fearless. You will have become stronger than your fear. That is the quiet miracle of discipline. It does not remove life's difficulties. It transforms the person who walks through them. Many spend their lives hoping for easier roads. They wish for fewer obstacles, kinder circumstances, better timing, and perfect conditions. But life has never promised any of these things. Instead, it offers something far greater. It offers you the opportunity to become someone who no longer depends upon perfect conditions. A mountain does not ask the wind to stop blowing. The eagle does not complain about the storm. In fact, the eagle rises because of it. The winds that force other birds to seek shelter become the very currents that lift it higher. Your struggles can become those currents. Every disappointment can deepen your wisdom. Every failure can strengthen your resolve. Every setback can become another stone beneath your feet instead of another weight upon your shoulders. The choice has always belonged to you. You cannot always choose what arrives at your door, but you can always choose who opens it. The world will continue to change. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be distraction. There will always be voices telling you to take the easier path, to settle for less than your potential, to surrender your future for the comfort of today. Do not become another voice in that crowd. Become the quiet voice within yourself that says, keep going. Become the steady hand that guides your own life. Become the calm presence that remains centered when everything around you seems uncertain. The greatest victory is not standing above another person. It is standing above the weaker version of yourself that once believed you could not continue. Every sunrise gives you another opportunity to choose again. No matter how many times you have fallen, no matter how many promises you have broken, no matter how long you have wandered without direction, this moment does not ask you to carry the weight of your entire past. It asks only one thing. Take the next faithful step. Do not waste today mourning yesterday. Do not waste today fearing tomorrow. The only life you will ever truly possess is the one unfolding in this present breath. This breath, this decision, this action, this moment is where your future is quietly being written. Do not underestimate what one disciplined day can become. One disciplined day becomes one disciplined week. One disciplined week becomes one disciplined month. One disciplined month becomes one disciplined year. Eventually, what once required tremendous effort becomes the rhythm of your existence. People may look at your life and see success, but you will know the deeper truth. Successes was never built in the moments everyone could see. It was built in the moments when no one was watching, when you chose integrity over convenience, focus over distraction, silence over noise, patience over urgency, purpose over pleasure, again and again, until those choices became your nature. Remember this whenever you feel invisible. The seed is invisible before it becomes the forest. The sunrise is invisible before it touches the horizon. The masterpiece is invisible before the artist lifts the brush. The strongest parts of life are often growing where the eyes cannot yet see. Trust what you are becoming. Trust the quiet work taking place inside you. Not because the journey is easy, but because every sincere step reshapes your character. There will be mornings when discipline feels heavy. There will be evenings when exhaustion whispers that enough is enough. There will be seasons when progress seems painfully slow. During those moments, do not ask yourself whether the journey is worth it. Ask yourself who you are becoming because of the journey. Because in the end, the greatest reward is not the achievement itself. The greatest reward is the person capable of achieving it. There is a version of you that already lives beyond your excuses. A version that wakes with purpose instead of hesitation. A version that keeps promises even when emotions change. A version that remains humble in victory and composed in defeat. A version that does not seek approval because it has earned its own respect. That person is not waiting somewhere in the future. That person has built one decision at a time. Right here, right now. This is the sacred responsibility of every human life. Not to become someone else. Not to imitate another path. But to awaken the highest expression of what already exists within. Do not fear the slow path. Fear the path that asks nothing of you. Choose the road that requires your patience. Choose the road that demands your honesty. Choose the road that strengthens your spirit instead of merely satisfying your comfort. Years from now, when you look back upon this chapter of your life, you will not remember every obstacle. You will remember the moment you stopped negotiating with your potential. You will remember the day you decided that your habits would no longer be dictated by your moods. You will remember the moment you realized that the greatest prison had never been your circumstances. It had been an undisciplined mind. And the greatest freedom was never waiting outside of you. It was waiting within. So walk forward with quiet confidence. Let your actions speak longer than your words. Let your consistency become your reputation. Let your patience become your strength. Let your silence become your wisdom. And let your discipline become the bridge between the life you have known and the life you are capable of creating. Because the mind you choose to cultivate today becomes the destiny you will inhabit tomorrow. Master your thoughts before they become your actions. Master your actions before they become your habits. Master your habits before they become your character. And when your character is shaped by discipline, guided by awareness, strengthened by patience, and anchored in purpose, no obstacle will possess the power to keep you from the life you were meant to build. The greatest victory you will ever achieve is not over the world around you. It is over the world within you. The day your mind obeys your highest values instead of your lowest impulses is the day your life truly begins. From that moment forward, success is no longer something you chase. It becomes the natural reflection of the person you have chosen, day after day, to become.